Welcome to Comic Station, issue number 16 for April 17, 2013. I am Paul Nisi.
And I'm Scott Cates of the Comic Station.
We have our new releases. As usual, we try to highlight ones that may have been missed or slipped through the cracks. A lot of number ones. We also, you want to stick around, after our reviews and recommendations section, we have a special announcement that you will probably want to hear, especially any of the gamers out there. For the new releases for April 17th, the first one we're going to kick off with is actually not in number 1, is Bloodshot number 10 from Valiant. This is actually getting more, they did a big reboot, Valiant did a big event happening called the Harbinger Wars, and this is kicking off into that. This picks up from issue 9 where Bloodshot, who is basically an assassin that was made and raised from a young child by this company, and so Bloodshot is more than human, and throughout the book he actually references nanomachines in his body that is healing him, and he takes a lot of punishment. It is very gory at times, especially, but the artwork is really nice. It has a darker tinge to it. It picks up where in issue 9 he was essentially tricked into saving children. He went in there to find something about his past, a common theme in comic books, where he doesn't remember his past. So, but instead he found psyots, which are psychics, children that were being held prisoners. So he saves them, and basically he is a mass murderer with a heart. He's trying to be redeeming. And it's really important for this issue to read the pre-word on this, pick it up in the last issue section. But it is a nice issue. It didn't get too far, though. It kind of, to me anyways, it didn't seem like it progressed too much. It was a lot of establishing. So, but again, this is picking up on the Harbinger Wars. This is a big Valiant event, and all their comics are kind of tying into this. So it is getting more into the Harbinger company trying to take advantage of these psychic children, and it's their war.
It does. Harbinger Wars number 1 came out last week. It's a good book. I mean, Valiant is an older company that got bought and is now being, it's back to where it kind of was. The titles are decent, but they all kind of tie in together, all of the Valiant titles. So I've read Harbinger Wars number 1. I liked it, and I like the character Bloodshot, so I think it's a good read.
Yeah. The next comic that we have is from IDW. It's called Danger Girl Trinity number 1. We obviously started reading this because it was a number 1. Basically, it follows 3, obviously the Trinity, Danger Girls, female spies. And kind of Indiana Jones. They're collecting artifacts. It was kind of almost a pick up and let down, because the first few pages, it's actually pretty neat. It's the entire book is well drawn, but it picks up. It's really interesting. A lot of action. The first Danger Girl, Abby, has a good action scene. Obviously, she's in good shape, she wears tight-fitting clothes, whatever, it's jeans and t-shirts, that's fine. And that was fine, I was happy with that. And then, right around the middle of the book, it gets into basically fan service. And that's where it kind of let me down. As much as everybody kind of likes fan service, it is kind of occasionally seen as a crutch. And I don't know, it kind of too much. And I would have just liked to see them not have to bring that in. I mean, they brought it into an interesting, it was funny, some of the quips that went back and forth and some of the comments, but again, there was some gratuitous fan service for no other reason, really. So I usually like to see a little bit more substance, but it was fun, it was a quick read, and again, the quips were really funny, beautifully drawn. So kind of torn whether I should continue on this one.
Yeah, Danger Girl is generally not something I read because you have Danger Girl, you have Danger Girl versus Army of Darkness, Danger Girl here, there. It's all pretty much the same stuff. Not my cup of tea, but I think the cover is outstanding.
Absolutely.
So the artwork, maybe it's worth taking a look just for that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was a good book otherwise, but I thought it was a little too gratuitous at times. The next one is just something I saw and it was kind of weird, so I wanted to pick it up, and it is a #1. It's called Jirni, Jirni, from Aspen, and immediately it was really beautiful. One of the first things, though, you're going to notice as soon as you open the first page is the artwork is beautiful. It has almost a cartoonish look that could have been young adult, could have been for everybody, except for the first scene right there on the bottom is this person getting flayed. So it kicks it off right there. You know it's going to be gory. It is beautiful, but gory. Kind of like Ara, who is the main character here on the cover and main character in the issue. She's beautiful and deadly. Very deadly. Really cool fight scenes, really beautiful. You get introduced to her. She rescues somebody. Again, the person's getting filleted. So it's not afraid to step on some of those toes. But you find out she is kind of searching for her mother, and she was raised as a princess of this country that kind of got invaded or attacked by a sorcerer. The sorcerer stole not only her mother, but a djinn, which is to everyone else a genie. And again, gory. So, but it's really beautiful, it's really fun, and I really liked it. It's kind of an interesting juxtaposition where the artwork could have been almost young adult, yet the content was definitely not. So
that's typical of Aspen. Aspen, founded by Michael Turner, has been. I mean, Michael Turner, brilliant artist, and ever since he passed, the artwork has continued, and all of their titles, executive assistants.
I like that one. I read that.
Soulfire, the Fathom series, both when Turner was doing it, and then since everything they do, the artwork is brilliant. Stories can be a little cartoonish, as you said. They're generally worth a pick up and take a look at.
Yeah, the last thing to note is Ara is something of a mixed blood. She's not even quite sure what she is. She can transform between this purplish color and her normal human looking, and obviously it gives her some skills or some advantage. So she's also looking for that kind of mystery. And the last issue we have, I actually have a review on Front Towards Gamer. This should be up around the same time this video goes up, but I have a special review coming up. So this one is being highlighted in new releases. This is Star Wars Darth Vader and the Ninth Assassin. If you can't tell from the title, it's on the Ninth Assassin, so there have been 8 previous assassination attempts that have failed kind of miserably, and it's kind of a disappointment in the fact that it has Vader right in the title, and it has him for maybe 2 or 3 frames, and you really don't see Vader. He doesn't even really say anything. He's just there kind of as almost as a thug position. This mining planet is renegotiating trading terms after the Galactic Empire has been established and Senator Palpatine has taken over. So they're not happy with the negotiations because Vader is there and gives them kind of an advantage for his allies. So the father, you find out the son gets killed by Vader trying to do something. Son's not the best kind of guy, and actually the first few pages of the book is setting up this son that is he kind of deserves it, but whatever, the father wants revenge, so he gets a assassin, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they can do anything else with this. As a first issue, I was kind of disappointed just because there was so much to Star Wars, there's so much to having Vader, that I would have liked to have seen more scenes, more scenery, more there's so much to work with, and it was just kind of bland.
Yeah, I don't read all of the Star Wars titles that
There's
Dark
so
Horse
many.
puts. There is. Generally, they're well received. Anything that has Vader in the title is a seller. I once again, I'm not the world's largest Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. I enjoy it, but not enough to be reading every single title that's put out, and there is quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm interested to see what they do with this. The attempt to bring in another assassin and kind of almost Boba Fett. So see what they do with it. There's some potential there, but as far as the first issue, I wasn't too impressed.
There you go.
But if you're a Star Wars fan, you read all the Star Wars, and there's plenty of them.
Yes.
All right. Up next is our review and a recommendation. For our review today, we have a jumbo edition here. Is the Super Street Fighter Volume 1 New Generation from Udon. This is a 144-page full-color Super Street Fighter book, only available in hardback. And anyone familiar with the Street Fighter series, there actually is a plot, who knew, to a fighting game. And this Udon has done a lot of comics previously and continued since on the Street Fighter series, and this one in particular takes place after Street Fighter 2 Turbo, continues the story. And first thing right off the bat is the amazing artwork. Everything is beautifully drawn. This is actually kind of a vignette style where multiple chapters, every chapter except for the storyline chapters. There are 3 storyline chapters and multiple bonus stages, and all the bonus stages are a different team, whether it be an artist, author, letterer, colorist, so forth. But the main storyline chapters have the same team. But all the artwork is beautiful. They all kind of have a photorealistic, cartoonish look to them that really fit the style well. The main author for the storyline chapters is really, really good. This actually gives a chance for some of the bonus stages where some of the other authors and artists to stand out. And you can find, there was one in particular that I really liked, and I name it in the review on Front Towards Gamer. You can see in that I actually named that particular bonus stage for its art style. It was really interesting. I liked it. It reminded me a lot of a cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon. So this story is Guile trying to find Ken, and discovering this secret society that is a real threat, bigger than Bison, really, and you find out Bison has been pulled in, really. And that takes along the storyline. The bonus stages, though, kind of offshoot, and basically, where are they now? What are they doing in the world? And it gives a really nice chance to see a lot of characters and a lot of, because Street Fighter has a lot of fighters, so it gives a nice chance to have almost everybody gets their little scene. But this style also gives it a kind of a fragmented impression. In my review, I basically state the main story offers a generally intriguing plot, and even the chapter with the least favorite art style was really well done. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, the vignette style kind of makes the storyline fragmented. It really could seem to lose focus, and makes the progression seem really sluggish. In the end, once you're done, you don't really see, a lot of time got skipped, and not much happened between that time, except for going to see those vignettes or those bonus stages. So storyline wise, not too much. So it's really nice for fans. Fans are gonna like this, whether Street Fighter or fighting game. They're gonna enjoy this. The artwork is beautiful. There was even almost a quarter of this entire book is just additional art that people will really enjoy if they are fans of the series. But this whole thing is fan service. So if you're not a fan of this, I don't know how much you're going to get out of it. So you can see my full review on fronttowardsgamer.com.
Alright. Well, for my review this week, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. I generally am not someone who reads a lot of horror or hack slash whatever type of books. This one I like. This is actually a remake of an older book, and this is Evil Ernie from Dynamite. Basic premise: Ernie's raised in a house, beaten and tortured his whole life, and prays to God, and God never kind of gets to him, gives, yells at God, kind of a thing. Lucifer answers the call. He gets hooked up with a evil demon, and he starts his rampage. It actually starts in a prison when he's about to be electrocuted. Can't be killed, and this thing gets gory. It gets, pieces of people getting ripped off. This is certainly for mature people. There's language issues, and it is highly violent. For whatever reason, this drew me in, and I guess it's from reading the originals back in the day. But this is actually, it's well drawn, it's well written, and it's well done. And if you have any kind of horror like in you, this is a neat little book. It's a fun read. So check it out. Give it a chance.
Yeah, like you said, he goes after sinners. So it's not like he's just going after people and being a mass murderer. He's actually going after, kind of like, reminds me of Spawn. Basically, the devil gave him powers to go hunt down the people that escaped. But in this case, the devil gave him powers to hunt down sinners.
And he certainly does. And some of the sinners that his evil stepfather actually becomes infected in this as well. And he kills anybody in sight. Ernie's more lenient, as it was. But it's a really good killer. He's a good killer, yeah, for lack of a better term.
Alright. So, as I mentioned before, we have a special announcement. 2 pieces of news, and then a really big announcement for us. The first piece of news is that Zenescope's Grim Fairy Tales is getting an animated series by the same director, John Schutt, as the Metalocalypse, and Image Comics is getting a motion comic for Peter Panzerfaust. So these are really cool series that really deserve it, and I really like to see that these are picking up. The big announcement that we have is on frontwardsgamer.com on Saturday. I put up a interview with Marvel Heroes, is a MMO by Gazillion Entertainment, and I interviewed Stephen Reed, their community manager, and we have been given a beta code. So anyone can go on to frontwardsgamer.com, go into what will be coming up shortly after this video. Posting on Wednesday will be a Rafflecopter. Fill out some information, and we will send you a beta code. You can get right in. They are having I know there's a 24-hour beta tomorrow, as well as some other throughout the week. Almost every day this week is coming up for some of the betas. So sign up, we'll send you a beta code, you can get in, and it's good for the entire beta as long as the beta is going on. And then if you want to continue or not, you can either buy a Founders Pack, or you can just play, because Marvel Heroes is a free-to-play MMO. And you get to play as the Marvel Heroes. So you can be Thor, you can be Iron Man, you can be Daredevil, you can be Wolverine. So, alright, check that out. Again, please enter. We have plenty of codes to give out. Tell your friends, and play. It's free. It's a free MMO. It's actually pretty cool. I've been playing it a lot. I've been on the beta for about 2 weeks now. Alright, thank you very much. This has been Comic Station issue number 16 for April 17, 2013.
See ya.